Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to spiritual Israel. This is your brother Malak Hanif, aka the Benevolent Winds, coming through with a breeze that I know we all probably need, for sure. Today's going to be interesting. Today's going to be interesting. Chosen ones, I pray you've been well. Pray the Most High has been watching over you. Pray He's been taking care of you. Pray He's been keeping you safe and sound and a sound mind. You have to excuse me, it's a little early in the morning. I didn't really get to do myself all good. But let's do this, right? Now bear with me as I'm going to dive deep with you. Okay? Bear with me. Have you ever felt like you were being watched? Not just by one person, but by a system. Have you noticed strange patterns? Neighbors moving in sync, sudden hostility at work, technology that seems to know your every move, and sometimes your thoughts. Some people call this gang-stalking. But what if I told you, chosen ones, this goes deeper than surveillance? What if it has a spiritual side that's been hidden in plain sight for centuries? Take a look back at the back of a dollar bill, the US dollar bill. You see a pyramid, right? 13 levels stacked on top of one another. But notice something strange. The eye doesn't sit on the pyramid, it floats above it. It's almost as if the real power is not in the structure itself, but in something unseen that governs it. And that's exactly how spiritual oppression works. Today, I want to show you how the layers of human control, governments, organizations, even everyday people, parallel with the ancient description the Bible gives us of principalities and powers. What looks like coordinated harassment in the natural is actually being directed from a higher dimension, a spiritual one. And once you see the pattern, the pieces begin to fall into place. Interesting so far, right? Let's see how this gets. So let's start at the bottom of the pyramid, the foundation. These are the everyday people who seem to suddenly change towards you. Neighbors, co-workers, even strangers on the streets, perhaps even times friends, family members, loved ones, freshly acquainted romantic interests. They may not even know the bigger picture, but they're being used as pawns. This is what the scripture calls the accuser of the brethren working through flesh and blood. One level higher, you've got community groups, neighborhood watches, activist circles, or so-called civic programs that appear harmless, but in practice they monitor, report, and isolate targeted individuals. It's the first organized layer of control. As we climb the pyramid, you see institutions, workplaces, schools, even hospitals. Suddenly records are misplaced, opportunities disappear, and doors close. If you're targeted, it feels like invisible hands are moving against you. But those hands are guided by a mind greater than their own. Next come law enforcement agencies and local government, police, courts, social services. Not every officer or judge is involved, but enough are influenced to keep pressure on the selected target. Think of how the prophet Daniel was accused in Babylon. Laws were twisted just to trap him, and that's how he ended up in the fiery furnace. They came up with all kinds of laws to snare him, even though he was an upright man. Keep moving upward this proverbial pyramid, or ladder, if you will, and the levels widen into intelligence agencies, military research, corporations, and international councils. These are the architects of programs like COINTELPRO, MKUltra, or mass surveillance. History proves they've done it before, and scripture shows they'll do it again. And at the very top of this visible structure, just beneath the eye are the hidden councils. That's right, chosen ones. The secret societies, the think tanks, and elite families who preserve ancient knowledge of control. That's right, they have the ancient antediluvian Nephilim knowledge of how to oppress and how to control and how to manipulate and subjugate. They are the kings of the earth, Psalms 2 speaks about, who take counsel together against the Lord, against the Most High Yah, and against his anointed. But notice all of these 13 levels are still part of the visible, what we can see world. They are human, flesh, and blood, even if they cooperate with darkness in the spiritual realm, right? The real question is who gives them their orders? Who's above them? That's where the I comes in, because we all know deep down inside, chosen ones, these everything originates in the spirit. It is either originating from the Most High, or it's originating from Ha-Satan and the Prince of Darkness, right? The Prince of all lies, the Prince of the air. The eye is not attached to the pyramid. It hovers above it because it represents something not of this world. This is the dimension of principalities, rulers of darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. The same forces Jesus confronted when he cast out demons. The same ones that drove Judas to betray him. The pyramid is their infrastructure. The eye is the spirit of command. Now, let's talk about that eye. Why does it float above the pyramid? Why isn't it built into the pyramid structure like everything else? Because it represents another dimension, a realm above flesh and blood. The realm Paul describes in Ephesians 6 verse 12. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. The eye is a symbol of those principalities. It sees, it directs, it influences, just like the book of Job, where Satan stood before God and said he had been going to and fro in the earth, walking up and down in it. That is surveillance. That is perfect surveillance. That is targeting. He's looking for somebody. He's looking for somebody. He's searching for someone. He's certain he has an agenda. And Job became a target for Satan, not because Job was wicked. No, not because he was doing evil. No. It was because of what he did right. Look at Elijah. After his victory on Mount Carmel, Jezebel threatened his life, and suddenly he felt surrounded, hopeless, hunted. The same demonic spirit still works today, using systems, rumors, and pressure to wear down the saints. And then we have the account of Legion in the gospel. One man, yet filled with thousands of unclean spirits. When Jesus confronted them, they said, "My name is Legion, for we are many." Doesn't that sound eerily like what we see now? Many faces, many voices, yet one coordinating spirit driving them against a single target. So when people ask, why does gang stalking feel like it's everywhere? Why does it follow me city to city, state to state? The answer is simple, because the pyramid is local, but the eye is global. The pyramid uses organizations and agencies, but the eye is spiritual, and it does not rest. It peers into your life from a higher plane, working through whoever and whatever it can manipulate. Oh yeah, this is spicy, right? But here's the good news. The same Bible that exposes the pyramid also gives us the power to stand against it. Jesus said in Luke 10 verse 19, "Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you." The pyramid looks intimidating. The structure of this beast system looks very intimidating. Come on now. Very, very, very menacing. But above the eye and above every principality and power is the throne of the Most High. Let me say that again. Above every principality and every power, chosen ones, spiritual Israel, is the throne of the Most High Yah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And guess what? That's where our hope comes from, chosen ones. That's where our hope comes from. That's a big brew facts. For real, for real. Chosen ones. Spiritual Israel. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully, this provides you some enlightenment. As I always say, we've been wanting to build this channel. Please like, share, comment. Comment if this touched you, if this gave you some type of revelation, if this hit you in a way that's like gave you a eureka moment, or even just a little bit of like a little less a feeling of like you're alone. Let me know in the comments, please. By all means. And share this if you know somebody needs to hear this. And again, we'll be making more spiritual videos. I definitely got to break down and get on that, jump on that spiritual, the spirits that are at play, these evil spirits that are at play in this warfare, this spiritual warfare that we're dealing with in these last days. But, you know, in due time, Most High willing. Well, anyway, try to keep these videos a little bit shorter. Chosen ones, spiritual Israel. Again, this is your brother Malak Kanif, a.k.a. the Benevolent Winds. Still coming through with them breezes that I know that we all need. Till the next time. Peace.